Starting off very good. All right. Hey, welcome to One Message in a Bottle Tarot. My name is O.N.E and I am your spiritual advisor. Hello, and welcome back to all my beautiful messengers all around the world in your respective places. I appreciate and love you so very much. Every single thing that you do. Number one, being a subscriber, liking my videos, sharing my content, connecting with me in the comments because I do love to hear from you. All the love you show through your tips and donations are very much appreciated. If you're new here, you're more than welcome to stay and join the psychic family. I am definitely glad to have you here. So make sure you lock in and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Also, do me a favor and like this video. When you like my videos, it helps to promote my beautiful, insanely accurate psychic messages out into the world for people to hear. Also, when you give the video a thumbs up, it helps to promote my work in the algorithm. All right. I am available for personal psychic readings. That information is always available in the description box and the bio. Zodiac predictions, okay, for May are uploaded on VIP Patreon. This month's theme is all about making and manifesting money moves in May. The energy surrounding you, okay, how it is affecting your money for good or for worse, and advice on how to turn that situation around. Those of you that are focused on love, go ahead and show your love by joining the membership, okay, of the channel Lovers Only. All right, that is all about advice on how to get your love life together. That being said, there are so many ways to show love and to give. Either way, I'm just so thankful and happy to have you here. That being said, my psychic readings are for God's purposes only, but let the receipts and the records show. All right, that I know what I'm talking about. Receipts, records, confirmations, and predictions of everything can be found on the community board. All right. All right. Happy Sunday, you guys. You guys, I hope wherever you are happy, safe, loved, and protected. Okay, here. We're going to get into the current trending topics and things going on. I know I missed the last Saturday yesterday, but I was taking a break, hanging out with my kiddo. We had a really good time. So let's pick it up. We're going to get into this Diddy Cassie saga, hopefully briefly. All right. There was an apology. He issued an apology today. We know that Friday, the viral video of the physical assault, okay, on her went everywhere. Very, very triggering. It's been a rough weekend, guys. You know, I know it's been a rough weekend for a lot of women, people that are survivors of abuse, people that are still currently going through abuse or abusive situations, okay, where they're being violated at every turn. So, you know, it's just been really heavy, present company included. Very, very tough, very, very tough. And to know that you experienced abuse and then to have someone pretend like, you know, they didn't do it. All right. Which is what he said in the beginning. He said, you know, it's all lies. It's a money grab, you know, and then even days before this video of him assaulting Cassie in the hotel went viral. He made a post as like, oh, the truth will come out, and as if taunting. It's kind of a measure when you taunt your victims, and a lot of abusers do that. They taunt their victims by still being very vocal and adamant that, you know, it's all lies and the victims are lying. Well, the video came out, all right, showing that in fact he was abusing her. He has abused her. And if he was able to do that in public in a location where, again, it was caught on camera, anybody could have walked out at any moment. as many women have says, God knows what happened behind the scenes. So again, it's been very, very tough. It's been very triggering. So many people have so much to say. Even men in the hip hop industry who have abused me speaking on it, 50 cents. Okay, like I don't know, maybe it's a narcissist thing or something for men to just, I don't know. I just know that there are a lot of men in the entertainment industry and in the hip hop industry that are just very deeply disturbed, very, very deeply disturbed, beyond therapy. And why they choose women as their targets, as their punching bags, as their outlet, because they don't have the courage, okay, to address their childhood traumas, whether it stems back from their childhood, their mother, or whatever. But again, they choose to take out their violence and aggressions and demons and use women as the subject of that. Again, Kendrick Lamar said a few choice things in his song, like all men who abuse women, who hurt women, just don't need to be here. Just don't need to be here. And however that resonates, it's just amazing how you can abuse a person and then feel that the person that you have violated, the person that you have abused, harmed, without reason, without cause, especially a woman who are women who have loved you, who have supported you, women that are kind, women that have no way to really defend themselves against you, against your place in society, against your connections, especially again, Cassie, and God bless her, and prayers of protection over her and all women at this time. Was violated, and then to know that somebody can go pay somebody to not have that release, so you have no recourse. People will say, well, why didn't you say anything? Well, how can you say anything when these powerful men, okay, that are very aware of each other's tendencies and violence, and there are people right now that know about what has been happening to me for the past 20 years and who is responsible. What do you do when these people have policemen on the payroll, okay, when they have mayors and councilmen and everybody, people, she could go nowhere, she was stalked, they're best friends with the president, they have ties with the government, they everybody in the industry is in their pocket, they have the ability and the reach to make it so outside of them and their abuse, you can't provide for yourself, what I mean? So there's so many just moving pieces to this puzzle, and again, my heart just goes out to her. My heart goes out to all women. My heart goes out to me. Okay, again, I just know that it's a lot, all right, here, but I'm glad that the public has seen firsthand, again, how abuse can happen, how it can happen for so long, how somebody can be trapped, again, when you have these men who have access, who have money, wealth, and access, the ability to pay off people, the ability, even LAPD said, well, we can't do anything. They have video, they have proof, well, we can't do anything. They don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? So that being said, let's get into it. We're going to get into this apology. I can tell you for myself, I didn't even really listen to what he heard. Like I turned it on, and his energy was so dark. His energy is very dark. I don't know how you can be in a beautiful place and have energy that dark. And it's like I heard him, but intuitively and energetically, I almost didn't hear him because the energy behind, it's like, and it's interesting when you have people, when you put out statements, and it's just like, if you really don't feel that, don't bother. Okay, like don't bother putting out these statements when that's not how you truly feel. And a psychic medium, um, um, aside, intuitive aside, empath aside, the camera doesn't lie. And they tell you that, especially when you're an actor and you're in Hollywood, they say that's why you get lessons, because one thing the camera is going to, you can't hide from the camera when something is inauthentic. The camera is going to pick up those subtle nuances, all right, that's really going to give away, okay, the true intention behind what you're saying, regardless of what you're saying. So that's number one, to get in front of the camera, and the camera capturing very vividly and up close that you mean nothing, okay, of what you say. Now, again, once I get into this tarot, if I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected. But energetically, it was not aligning. It was not aligning at all. It was void, almost soulless, just very void, very devoid of information. Information, emotion. And a lot of people on Twitter were saying that he didn't even mention her. He didn't even apologize to her, right? Which is also very telling. It's not so much a person's words that tell the truth about their true feelings and the energy, but it's their actions, all right? And the fact that he didn't even mention her, again, it's like, why even do that? And then have body language experts, or again, the bloggers, or whoever else, be able to see the truth here. So yeah, intuitively, it was just very, very dark. But let's see the energy behind this apology. I'm going to pull an archetype oracle here. Give me, I don't even know what name to call you. Okay, we have Sean, we have Diddy, we have Brother Love. Okay, but since Diddy is trending, give me the energy behind Diddy's apology. Networker, visionary, and prostitute. Okay. Somebody else was saying, I know Dr. Umar had a few choice words. I don't know why. There are so many people that just need to just honestly be canceled. And a lot of them are men. And some of them are women who stood by and silently co-signed. Unless they were victims themselves, then of course we can exercise some grace here. There are just so many people who sit by and silently co-sign. Who silently co-sign these actions of these horrible people here. The only thing I can take away is maybe the music industry, the entertainment industry is a bunch of people enslaved or something. I don't know. We have scribe. Okay. So he wrote it. Okay. Allegedly. Here, preserving knowledge and information, if it's of the light, if it's of the dark, altering facts, and plagiarizing another's work. So he could have had, I don't know. A lot of people were saying, whose advice was it for him to even come forward and write these things. We have engineer, artist, martyr, hermit on the end, and in his heart to hearts, it's almost like he feels like he's a victim. But engineer and artist, yeah, if I put all these together, engineer, artist, martyr, and hermit, you are the author, you are the engineer of your own undoing. Okay, you have engineered, you are the orchestrator, you are the engineer of your own undoing, if that makes sense. If I put all of this together energetically, okay, for his energy, all right. Maybe he is in Bali trying to, I don't know, he down there with the other man running from accountability. So, you know, that's not helping. Okay, that's not helping. You know, it's the fact that these men, these violent men, do these things, and then it's just like, well, let me run to safety. I don't know why I feel like I'm gonna cry right now, because it's so fucking unfair. Like, how dare you run? How dare you hide out when Cassie couldn't run from you? She thought you were in the shower. She thought she had a moment to get away, and here you are running down the hallway in your towel. She didn't get to run. She didn't get to hide. But you can swipe a card or whatever, and you can hop a couple continents, and you can go over there and sit in the middle of the forest because what? You're too good to feel any pain. You're too good to bear the weight of scrutiny here. You're like seriously? You can hurt someone else, but God forbid you have to face what you have done, face public ostracizement, face public backlash and scrutiny. What was the point? Why even press record? What are you pressing record to record any video from? If you're hopping a plane and avoiding public protecting yourself. uh, Cassie couldn't protect herself. I couldn't protect myself. All the other women in the industry who are abused, they couldn't protect themselves. Why do you get protection? Why do you deserve to be protected? Why do you deserve to escape? Why can't you be prosecuted? Why can't you pay for what you have done? And there's no amount of money. There's no amount of money that will take away the scars and the horrors and God knows whatever she experienced, what I've experienced, what countless other women have experienced. Yes, we deserve a retribution, and yes, we deserve a righteous vengeance, divine intercession. You know, thank God for Cassie and the people who helped her and interceded on her behalf to get her to safety and get her some type of recompense. I can only pray for the same for myself. But how dare you, as an abuser, go tuck your tail and hide? Here you are hiding, suicidal with this martyr. But you know, martyrs are people who lose their life for a good cause. You're in shadow energy, addiction to self-pity. And someone else said that earlier, another reader, and I was just like, nah, I don't really see him taking himself out. But maybe so. Maybe you are that selfish. And you wouldn't even be martyring yourself because of how much of a monster and how horrible you were to that woman. It's because you want to avoid the pain. You want to avoid getting hurt. You want to avoid getting violated. Should God help us, you actually be held accountable for your actions? Should you actually be put behind bars for what you have done? Not only to Cassie, because I strongly believe Cassie wasn't the only one, but all of you. You think you can escape through death? No. How selfish is that? How selfish of you to feel like, well, I don't want to suffer like you terrorized, humiliated, violated, and made someone else suffer. How dare you? And then what do you offer yourself? You take the easy way out? Now that you are the engineer of your own demise, you're somewhere in a hole in a cave or wherever you are, hiding now, contemplating how you're going to take yourself off of this earth because you don't want to pay the consequences. You don't want to pay the hood tax. So whether you wrote this statement is questionable. I say not, because again, when I looked at the energy intuitively, it was not sincere at all. You felt nothing for what you have done to this woman and to countless others. None of you horrible men. You feel nothing. You go on like whatever, 50 Cent all over the internet, like, oh, Diddy, you did this. Nigga, what about what you have done to me? What about you using your government ties to destroy my life in my early 20s as a single mom, having no one to defend me, using your access, using your money, you and all of your friends attacking me. And then you have the nerve to act like, oh, I'm going to make a documentary on Diddy. I'm going to make a documentary. Let's make a documentary on yourself. Why don't you take all of that illegal surveillance that you've had of me and my children of the 20 years and make a documentary on how you use your power, you and others, to stalk, harass me, Jay-Z, Eminem, Kanye West. You guys, the game. How dare you be a villain and point your finger at someone else when you destroyed my life, when all of you go around destroying all of these women? And for what? Because you can't control yourselves? Because of sick, twisted desires of lust? And for what? What is all of this for? What is all of this about? That you feel women aren't worthy of respect, of protection, to raise their children in peace. Lover. Yeah, brother love, right? Obsessive passion that harms others. Self-destructive devotion. And you knew that. You knew when you turned that camera on and you were saying those empty words, you know that she knows you and that she would be able to look at that and see that while you were mouthing those words, that behind those words that you were mouthing was the intent to harm, were the veiled threats. It doesn't matter what you were saying. I was able to read the energy. And you knew, and you know that Cassie would be able to also. And every woman who has been victimized and ruthlessly abused by men, past, present, future. You put that video out, not only re-traumatizing her, trying to re-victimize her, but all women who are like her. You knew exactly what you were doing. Destroyer. Intoxication with destructive power. Destroying others' dreams and potential. That's who you are. You and your friends, these other men in the industry. Destroyer. Others' dreams or potential. Why? Because you can't live your truth and be who you truly are in public. What did Cassie ever do to you? What did any of us, what did anyone ever do to you? Nothing but be a woman. Nothing but have no way to protect ourselves. Nothing but be a weaker vessel. Nothing but love you. Nothing but be vulnerable. Nothing but be a woman of color, because you men know that no one gives a fuck about us. That's why you're able to go through the music industry, destroying women, trafficking women, prostituting women, enslaving women, not paying them, robbing them, abusing them, drugging them, raping them, assaulting them, unchecked. Because you know no one gives a fuck about us. It ain't over, and you know it's not over. You know that more people have more stories to tell. That's why you're somewhere at night in the midnight hour contemplating how you're going to take yourself out of this earth to avoid the consequences. But even now, the gossip is that nothing will happen to you. Well, give me the energy behind Diddy's apology. Trying to change your fate. You think you can rebrand into a holy person now with this Temperance card? 5 of Wands. Anyone who has the Holy Spirit was able to intuitively see the veiled threats behind the mask of this apology. I see you fighting your demons. I do. But you can't martyr yourself and think that you'll escape. Whether you pay in this lifetime above ground or below ground, there is no escape. You will always be haunted by what you have done to Cassie and countless other women, men, children, whoever, and however you have abused and used your power to control, dominate, violate, abuse, and break others. There is some things there are no retribution for. And maybe you know that, and maybe that's why you are contemplating taking the coward's way out. Why do you expect the people that you abuse to be strong enough to take your abuse, but you're not strong enough to do the same? Yeah, I see you. You don't even have the strength enough to take yourself out with this Five of Swords. I see you not even be able to sleep because now you're haunted. Were you as haunted before the public knew? Or now are you haunted that now your sins are exposed for everyone? But even if when it comes to martyrdom, you're still trying to spare yourself. How can I do this in a way where it won't hurt? You know, you're talking to yourself, maybe I can do this in a way and it'll be quick. Oh, so you don't want to experience the pain that you gave to someone else? Or maybe I can have someone, I can just go to sleep. Oh, so you get to go peacefully or you get to go quick, right? Was the violence and the abuse and the physical harm and the drugging and God knows whatever else you did to Cassie and others, was it quick? Was it painless? Hmm? It is said in court documents that you had to send her away for weeks while her face healed. That doesn't sound quick or painless. But you somehow feel that you are worthy of that, a quick and painless demise. Interesting. Interesting. Who is Sean? Who is Sean? I've had enough of Diddy. Who is Sean? Huh? I couldn't even go. I couldn't even. Sometimes he's like, well, maybe if I go, maybe if I call him by the name is with his mother name, maybe there, maybe there, I can, Sean believes he's a god, he's a pioneer, and there are even some, like with R. Kelly. After knowing how much he violated women, they were still saying, well, you can't take his music away from him. You can't take away that he's a god in his industry. You can't take away that he's a pioneer, that he's a musical genius. Yeah. But you also can't take away that he's a trickster and a thief. You believe you are a god, you believe you're a pioneer, but you're being told that in all actuality, you're a trickster and a thief. Compulsive need to keep moving forward after your devilish, demonic deeds. Despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. God complex. Trickster, manipulating others through duplicity. Now here you are again, brother love. Thief. Brother love again. Stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers that you think you lack. I just intuitively heard, why are you crying? Yeah, why am I crying? Tears don't move you. I'm crying for Cassie. I'm crying for me. I'm crying for all women who are violated and discarded by monsters. These tears aren't for you. You don't deserve them. But I have a right to them. Cassie has a right to them. Victims all over the world have a right to them. We have a right to be sad. We have a right to be angry. We have a right to demand justice for what you have done to us. And these tears are not tears of weakness. They are tears of strength for still standing in the face of the monsters that you don't even have the courage to deal with. Because if you had the courage to deal with your own monsters and your own demons, then you wouldn't be forcing other people to be subjected to them. And there goes the story of narcissists and evil men that subject women to violence and abuse, humiliation and degradation that they themselves would never be able to stand. Tarot, clarify. Who is Sean? You have pleasure in withholding what is rightfully others, money and gains. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Immature. Refusal to grow up. Refusal to let others grow. To keep people stuck. To keep people infantile. Those that work under you. Lovers keeps coming up. Withholding, blocking others' growth, blocking others' progression, especially those that you love. Standing in their way of their opportunities, holding them hostage. Who is Brother Love? Who is Brother Love? Oh, the portrayal of an advocate, a seeker, but really you portray it. And it's amazing how Holy Spirit is uncovering the mask. Because this is who you told everyone you were, an advocate, seeker of love, seeker of truth, wisdom. When really underneath it says embracing negative causes and committing to these causes for personal gain. Maybe you earnestly started out wanting to do better and you couldn't commit to it. But then you have Holy Spirit revealing who you truly are, who Brother Love really is. This Don Juan energy, using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Slave, enslaver, enslaved, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Exorcist. And it's interesting because T.D. Jakes made, as part of his sermon, talking about how he viewed the video of your assault on Cassie and how he saw his daughters and how, I don't know, good message, but everyone was saying wrong messenger. Priest and exorcist. I thought that's interesting how these are paired together, because I wondered how he, why again, why even press play? Why even put out a message like people have not seen or witnessed him at parties, at Diddy parties? Why even fix your mouth, fix your lips to even say anything about sympathizing with victims of domestic violence and abuse and unimaginable terror and treatment? Is this who you truly are? The Holy Spirit says so. It looks like the Holy Spirit has something for Mr. Jakes too. Violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. And so what is behind the mask? Something that needs to be exercised. Fear of facing your own demons. What needs to happen? Free yourself and others from destructive impulses in fear of facing your own demons. Behind this brother love, because brother love, who did he link up with? That was an error, brother love and the priest, right? I heard it goes hand in hand, and this energy is one and the same. Few questions that went out on social media. Did your Diddy, Sean, Brother Love, associates and friends know about your behavior, about the abuse? It's hiding. I see other people being subpoenaed. Some people could be hiding and not wanting to be subpoenaed. They're looking for people who can corroborate. Nobody wants to get their hands dirty. Nobody wants to get attached to this. It's very sticky. That the people who are already, something is going to stick. Some type of charges are going to stick, whatever they are, whatever they have, they're going to stick. And those in association also. I don't see there being a way out of this. Someone's hiding because a card definitely flipped over. Yes. So your associates and your friends knew. Temperance card, Sagittarius energy. The ancestors. God saw you. Everyone saw. Your ancestors saw you. The angels saw you. God saw you. Your friends saw you. Your associates saw. Everyone knew. Everyone knew. They knew, and they all wondered, silently wondered to themselves, I wonder when you're going to get it. The Seven of Pentacles is giving people felt like it's only a matter of time before all this comes out, before the chickens come home to roost with this Seven of Pentacles energy. The women knew. Queen of Cups energy. And your family. The women in your family. Every woman in close proximity to you. Women that loved you. They all knew that you were doing this, that you had these capabilities. And we have the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands. The Hierophant is a religious leader, churches, people in the community of high standing who will feign not to know. But that Knight of Wands, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. The Knight of Wands said, yes, even they knew. Partnerships, associates, people that you hung out with, yes. Of course they knew. Of course they knew. The world knew. Everybody knew. Everybody knew, and no one said a thing of not only what was being done to Cassie, but what was done to others. Everyone knew. Yeah, it was a requirement. Here's the love card. Everyone knew. All yeses. Those that didn't speak about it, lovers, past lovers, lovers in the past, lovers in the present, the inner circle. With this yes, everyone knew. And they were told to pretend like they ain't see nothing. You see something? Nope, I ain't seen nothing. Nope, I ain't see nothing at all. Some asked, were your children aware? Did they see anything? Have Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Yep. Not even the babies were spared. Nobody was spared. Queen of Wands. Seven of Swords. Nobody was spared from the debauchery. Everyone knew. Everyone saw. And many felt like they didn't have the power to do anything. They were under everyone's control. You ran a tight ship, a tight reign, a reign of terror. This Magician card, this Death card, Four of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords. It's giving a reign of terror, not only on lovers, friends, associates. Eight of Swords, Judgment card, and this Ten of Pentacles. And you know what's so sad? The tears are falling. If only you knew how all these people, these women and your children who suffered in silence and pain and terror, if only you knew how much they prayed for you to be taken off this earth so they could be free. Your own children, your own family here, this Ten of Pentacles, and this Eight of Swords, and this Judgment card. How every night and day they prayed over and over and over and over and over. I'm trying to finish this. Can you do that? Because you're breaking me up. Give me a minute. Your family, your children, these women, your inner circle, your associates, people around you, they prayed incessantly for you to be taken off this earth in hopes that that was the only way that they would be free. They knew, and still to this day, right now, know that that is the only way that they will be free from your terror, is if God will take you off of this earth, or hopefully you would end up in jail with this Eight of Swords and Judgment. They lost sleep. They stayed up. They lost sleep many nights praying for this, praying for a whistleblower, praying for somebody to say something, to be able to do something so they could be free. They saw all of the beatings, this Five of Wands, and this Hermit card. They prayed for the day when this would be illuminated, how much they were suffering behind the scenes, how they were being not only physically abused, but financially abused. With this Five of Pentacles and this Nine of Wands, reign of terror. That if they tried to leave, they wouldn't be able to take care of themselves unless they stayed and endured this abuse. They prayed. They pray that God, the angels, the police, anybody, somebody, yourself would take you up out of here so they could finally be free, be happy, feel safe, live normal lives, maybe have the chance at true love, true protection. Somebody prayed that there are so many nights that you partied, Mr. Combs, that they prayed you would not get up so they could finally be free from your demons. And this isn't only extended to you, but again, to all of the monsters, all of the men who do this to women, to their children, because their children have to bear witness, to their children's mothers, to young women, young fans who walk in unknowingly thinking that they're going to party or have a good time with their favorite celebrity, only to be introduced to the devil. There are women, children, men, various places that have been violated, that have met the devil, that have danced with the devil, that have met your demons, that have prayed. I hope he doesn't get up, feeling that the only way they can be saved is for you and these other men, many who are your friends, to be taken off of this earth. If that's the only way they will know freedom, that's the only way they will know peace. With this Eight of Wands and this Three of Swords, I hear someone has a drug problem, and I don't know which one, but they even hope that some kind of way, so that they will be able to leave. You had so many people under your control that you were terrorizing, that were praying. That come morning, there wouldn't be another day where they would be subjected or terrorized. Did you know that? That some were praying after a night of partying or whatever you were doing to these people that you would not wake up so they could be free. And I know what that is. I know a lot of women that know what that is, being in domestic violence situation or abusive situations. You pray for the death of your abuser. You do. You wonder if God is even listening anymore because you see your abusers parading around on TV, parading around on social media, taunting you, daring you to say something, daring you to speak up, knowing even when you speak up that they have officers in place in the FBI, in the CIA, and in the local police system. What Drake say? Oh, we gonna pay some judges too, right? You see people who say they loved you, cared about you, partying it up with your abusers, partying it up with your ops, rubbing shoulders with the president as they send legions of people to harass you, to stalk you, to monitor you, to keep you imprisoned, to keep you oppressed, to keep you trafficked, to keep you abused, to keep you violated. So, yeah, in those situations with those victims, the only thing you can pray for is, motherfucker, don't wake up. So I get it. I get it. Brother love. Yeah. I don't know what kind of love that is. But I get the feeling and the distinction that they didn't want it. And I don't want it either. One. May you meet yourself in another, whatever that means for you.